Welcome to Natural Born Talents. In this series, I'm going to be discussing each aura's weak points. This is not to harp on the weak points, but it's generally the things that the individual with a specific aura needs to overcome in order to have their lives more fulfilling. There is no good aura or bad aura. There are auras with strengths and auras with weaknesses. The weaknesses are generally the things people came into this world, the matrix, in order to overcome, a kind of a challenge or a point of spiritual growth. This video is about the Lavender's aura. This is one of the auras that has trouble adjusting to the social norms of the present-day society. The images that flood their mind constantly causes them to tune out and space out and look what's going on in their mind as opposed to what's going around them in the real world. Lavenders have a lot of hidden skills, but in today's lockstep society, most of those skills go unnoticed, and the lavender is wandering around the world trying to figure out what their purpose in life is. In their mind's eye, they can see what they should do, but to actually get up and do it is kind of difficult for them. And it's not necessarily because they are really lazy, it's just that their mind is so active, they find that more interesting than the harsh reality around them. Lavenders see the world through magic, through fantasy. The harsh realities of this world make it very difficult for them to coexist at times. However, that doesn't mean they don't have a purpose. They actually do. And that purpose is to capture what they see in their mind's eye and express it in whatever form they feel expresses it best. It could be music, art, the written word, fantasy stories, comic books, anything that they see that they can express from their internal television in their mind. This also includes acting or other performing arts. Now, because the lavender is a sensitive aura, many are very empathic and they pick up all kinds of energies and can get easily overloaded and shut down. It is often difficult for them to have deep, long-lasting relationships, not because they are fickle, it's simply because they like to have the freedom to explore any reality that they decide to look into. Having a 9-to-5 job and a family would drive most lavenders kind of crazy. They can do it, but it's a lot of strain on their psyche. Lavenders are also not very physical people. They don't go out and do bodybuilding, for example. However, I do recommend lavenders do some sort of martial art, yoga, or other rhythmic kind of exercise in order to help them focus what goes on in their mind so they can bring it into this world. It takes a lot of practice, but once that's achieved, lavenders can start focusing on what they really are interested in, expressing what they see, which, if anything, is much like a kaleidoscope of information which few other people and few other auras are capable of understanding. Lavenders seem to do best when they are alone. However, I don't recommend lavenders being completely alone because that doesn't help them with the other issues they need to learn within life. They could escape into the fantasy world permanently by playing video games all the time without getting the things they need to get done within this world. For example, lavenders can get addicted to things like comic books, video games, or anything else that is kind of escapism from the harshness of this reality. When that happens, they start to look very pale and weak, despite having actually a lot of strength within their psyche and soul that they're unaware of. So in conclusion, the lavender really needs to look at balancing their life between the internal television that goes on in their head and applying it to the reality that we have in this world in order to make everything work for them. Many lavenders choose passive jobs like a librarian, for example, in order to have lots of time to space out while making a living. Of all the auras, this is the one that has the hardest time finding a place to fit in this world. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in the next one. And thanks again for listening.